What's up? What's up? What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of the Casting Couch. We are your co-hosts, Kennedy Scribecast, Ray, Johnny Crown, and Ray Johnson. And I just realized something, right? I realized we're getting new viewers, right? Every single week. And
You should.
which is amazing. We appreciate everybody who's joining, who's listening, wherever you get your podcast. We really do appreciate the support. But I made the cardinal sin, right, of expecting you all to know how we do things here at the Casting Couch, right? And why do we name it the Casting Couch in the first place, right? You're like, you hear this name, it's probably crazy, right? So I said, you know what, we need to reintroduce that and tell the people why that is. And so we all at the beginning said we wanted to make a podcast, right? And we were collaborating, throwing different name ideas out there left and right. And the reason why this particular one stuck is the fact that traditionally, historically, it had a negative connotation, right? And I said it would be so dope if we could flip this particular title and make it have a positive connotation, right? Having a positive kind of association with the word the casting couch. In the past, in the industry, the casting couch was something that was negative, where people of higher positions of power, right, would use their influence to force, let's say, new faces, new people to do certain acts, right, that were uncomfortable for them in order for them to advance their careers, right? And I said, what if we flip that on its head? What if we made the casting couch a place that everybody was welcome, right? Everybody could share their ideas. Everybody could have their thoughts to process, and we can celebrate people in their careers, right? In their journeys, and specifically people of color. So that's where the concept behind the casting couch came. And on top of that, we're going to give it to you raw. We're going to give it to you real, right? And we're going to share our truth in the process. So, with all that being said, welcome to the freaking casting couch, folks.
Hey, hey, he was like, "You gonna give it to you raw?" I was like, "Oh,
I know, and then she said the freaking, and then she said
Not
the
the raw,
freaking
nah.
and the freaking
Okay,
part.
well, we're gonna give it to you covered.
hey, God is good. God is good. God
God
is
is
dope.
dope.
God
God
is
is
dope.
dope.
God is dope. God
Nah, that's
is."
cool.
Well, further ado, typically what we do on here, we kick it off with a top 5 segment. These are different lists, right? And it's just our opinion, right? Everybody's got an opinion, right? We want to know what your opinion is too about what your top 5 of our category is. So make sure you guys chime in the comments and everything we have, all right? And it's also just a suggestion, because here's the thing, there's so many dope whatever actors, actresses, movies, etc., right? It's not hardcore. This is just in our heads, right? Me, Johnny, and Ray. Here's our top 5, right? Then from there we go over different hot topics or topics that's mattering like in the industry. So we're going to kick it off today with a top 5, and today we're going to be talking about top 5 Black villain performances, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be superhero, right? But the villain in the movie, right? The bad guy in the movie, or the one we're posing in the film, right? And I will go ahead and kick it off to Ray first. What you got, Ray?
My first one is only reason it's first. It's not number one, but it's just first because the kids at school is like, it's not monsters are not real or something like that, right? I'm like, okay, this is a crucial point. These are my first graders, so I have to give it to them. So I'm like, no, they're not. And the first thing came to my head, I dare you to stand in the mirror and say Candyman 3 times. You know what I'm saying? I didn't tell
That's a
them
good
that.
one.
But I was like, but that's the
That's a
first thing
good
I
one.
thought. You know what I mean? Like, so Candyman. I don't remember dude name, none of that. But if I see him, I know him,
Okay.
And we talked about also Denzel in Training Day. That was,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Him getting an Oscar when he had to play that type of role. I would say Michael B. Jordan and Black Panther.
Okay.
That's another one. I kind of had to like Google a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. And also, I didn't realize, and I love Pulp Fiction, but I didn't realize Samuel L. Jackson was like a villain in that. You know what I mean? It was like for me to
Okay.
see his name with that, I was kind of like, oh snap, that's my movie. So Samuel L. Jackson in that one. I think I owe one more.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know. I actually don't know a fifth one because I don't really look at people as villains when you watch a movie. You're like, yeah. You know, that's what
Well,
I.
it could just be like I said, it could be the bad guy or the bad character in the film. In any film, there's a character, there's a protagonist and there's an antagonist,
Right,
right?
right.
So
Right.
so the protagonist is trying to get over with the antagonist. So like for example, in Highest to Lowest, if you saw the movie, right? Denzel was the protagonist and ASAP Rocky was the antagonist. Right?
Okay.
So like in a traditional let's say like a cop movie. So the cop, right, is like, oh, okay, so what's American Gangster, right? So Russell Crowe, I think that was Russell Crowe. I always mix
Yeah,
them
that's
up.
cool.
Russell Crowe. Okay, all right. Russell Crowe would be our protagonist, right? And then technically Denzel was our
Dale.
antagonist.
I Ooh, I got one since you gave it to me like that. I'm probably gonna go Cameron Carroll. Who did Cameron play in Paid in
That's a good one.
Full?
Yeah, I don't remember the character name, but
It
yeah,
was
yeah, that's a good
Casey, it
example.
was he played homeboy that got killed a few years ago. Come on,
Alpo.
Johnny, you from New York, bro. Alpo. Alpo. There you go.
Okay.
Damn,
All
killed
right.
that. I don't know why he didn't keep acting after that, but that was
I
it.
mean, he's a rapper. So sometimes I think some rappers, they just get so carried away with they, production to where it's like, and if you not coming to LA, LA is Hollywood. So if you stay in New York or
They shot that.
he was in Ohio a lot, so I don't think the bug never really bit him like that. That was something
Right.
that they was doing because they were really
Dane just gave him that.
yeah, because it was something. It was a Harlem story, and it was some people that they looked up to, like you know what I mean. So it was like it was a blessing to play those parts for them, but they never thought about like the acting thing, like it was a serious, what I'm saying, job
Mhm.
suit like that. They never, rap still makes money. They was making a lot of money back then. You know what I mean? So, and to be an actor, like I said, you really gotta come to Cali and really be around more actors, take acting classes and all that. And
At that time, yes.
yeah,
At
like
that
Mhm.
that's what the LLs did.
now
And
you can sneak off to Atlanta and
like
kind of
Common Sense, LL, that's what they all did. That's why they pretty much live out here. They all took classes with, who, Samuel French and all those guys.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? To be able, and then they stuck with doing the acting thing, and then they went back to doing the music thing. And so I think that's what it is. You got to really kind of shake and
who
move.
you going to next?
Johnny, yeah, what's your top 5 black villains? I'ma get y'all. I know I got some y'all not thinking about. What you got, Johnny?
Black 5 villains. I will go with who's an underrated actor. I feel a lot of people don't think of too much or speak of much of, but he's a legend too. Is Forrest Whitaker, and Idi Amin is a movie that if y'all haven't seen it, y'all gotta watch it.
Okay.
Idi Amin,
Okay.
he was a weirdo. You know what I'm saying, as a person, and what he did to those people, if y'all don't know the story of Idi Amin, he was basically like the president of Uganda a long time ago, and he like did a lot of bad things. Like he like very much spread a lot of evil energies and agendas out there with a lot of Indians and chased them off and was trying to get them killed, for opening businesses out there. But anyway, if you haven't seen it, go watch the movie. It's a dope ass movie. Another person is Samuel L. Jackson. I know you said Pulp Fiction, but I'm saying Django Unchained. I think he really
Yep.
that shit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Another person I will say is Idris Elba in The Wire. Straight hell.
Okay.
Think he
Okay.
shit. Yeah. American Horror Story is another one with the one and only Angela Bassett.
Okay.
He killed that shit. So that's 4, right?
Yeah, that's 4. You got one more.
4. So I got one more. So I will say you already said Killmonger because that's like top tier. You already said Wesley Snipes in Demolition Man.
Okay.
That's my
All
joint.
right.
You know what I mean? That was
Okay.
before anybody had them. Before Cisco and them had the blonde hair, my man had that shit. He was terrorized.
Wesley Snipes is somebody who I feel like
Can make
that's
a lot.
tough. I feel like Wesley Snipes, his discography is like it's long and it's not really talked about that much.
Just
Like
said
he's been
Yeah.
on.
U.S.
Super
Marshal.
underrated. You know what I mean? And they should have
He was
brought
a
it
U.S.
back for
Marshal.
Blade. Like I don't know
But
why
they
they
was
trying to
chasing
held
him.
it back for that.
The same dude that chased
Well,
The same dude that chased Harrison Ford and shit was the same police officer that chased him in U.S. Marshals.
I didn't know
Harrison,
that.
yes. What was Harrison Ford movie when he killed his wife?
You
When
talking
he
about
did
Indiana Jones?
Nah. I know what he's talking about too.
Harrison Ford and The Fugitive.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen
Same
that. I've seen
police
that.
officer that chased him in The Fugitive is the same police
That's
officer that was
You
chasing
got
Wesley.
the police officer got
Yeah.
typecasted, huh? He didn't-
Hey man,
This-
2 3 rows. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Thank-
I'll take it.
I
You
know.
know, he's that guy. He's that guy. What is
It was
his
on
name?
the
Now you should
rail.
maybe
It
look
was
up
on
his
the
name.
demo rail, and they was like, "Yo, that's him."
That's him. That's who we want. That's hilarious.
Name
I'm gonna
is.
hit y'all with
That's what his
some.
name is. And y'all both
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
hit
like,
y'all
oh
with some
shit.
good ones. All right, I got some.
Hold
ones
up,
you
what's
get-
his name? Hold up,
I got
hold
some
up, Kennedy. Let me. What
What?
is his name? Let's say something funny.
Tommy Lee Jones, bro.
Oh yeah, Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee
Yeah.
Jones.
That's crazy.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Go ahead,
That's
Kennedy.
crazy.
I couldn't believe that. I was like, oh my God, I know him. Like, I love
Yeah,
that dude.
yeah.
Let's hear your
He's
list.
got some dope roles too. All right,
Yeah, he
I'm gonna
does.
hit y'all with some stuff that, yeah, y'all ain't got yet. Y'all ain't got on your list.
Trying to be good.
All right, so
You get your home.
one of them you got Samuel Jack and Django Unchained off the chain, right? So like that got to be in there. Definitely Denzel Washington in Training Day. Y'all had that one. That's for sure in there for me. All right, then I would also say one of them, you had Idris Elba, but this particular role is Idris Elba in Beasts of No Nations. He plays like this guy.
Yeah, I watched
who's
that
just-
joint. That joint was lit. Yeah.
It was cold,
But
right? It was cold.
I think you cheating though, because you can't say the ones we said already.
Beast of No Nation, y'all didn't have. 3 of mine, you guys don't have. So
Nah, but the other
I'm
two you
not-
can't even use. You can't use.
what are you talking about? I didn't say it had to all. No, we didn't. We never said it had to all be new.
You
I'm
know,
just
the
saying I got
dots
some
we
ones.
use that nobody else did. So we gotta have our shit fresh.
Know that unless we submit it, so that's not fair. Nah.
Go ahead. 3. What you got? 3
Alright.
left?
So then I was going to do. Oh, so I said Training Day, right? Yeah, I said that
Mhm.
one, and then Candyman was on mine, right? So I had Candyman.
Okay.
Candyman was cold. And then, but the number one villain, though, that y'all did not even think about was Monique in Precious. She was horrible as a person. She was horrible.
He was terrible. He treated her
She
daughter
was
like shit.
terrible.
Let me ask
And she wanted, yeah.
why do you? And it's a kind of little crazy segue, and I don't know if you want to go into it that
Well,
deep.
we'll see.
Why do you think Monique hasn't done like independent movies since she's struggling with, her gripes with?
That's a
Mhm.
great question.
Now, that's a great question. We could talk about
She
that.
could have did her own shit. You know what I'm
She-
saying?
You feel me? By now,
Love to ask her this question, right?
She
So we,
scared nobody will watch. You know?
you said well,
I don't know. She did one. It was independent, and it's when she reconciled with Lee Daniels, and it was on BET Plus, and it did well on BET Plus. I
Okay, but
forgot
she was
what
with
it's called.
Lee. I think if she go on her own, put her own money up, find her own directors.
yeah, like
do
she
this,
could kill
nobody will
Tubi.
watch
She
it.
could be on a top 10 freaking movie. Tubi.
You know what? Hey, look, anybody can pull it off.
Hey, yeah, go give her a call. Give her a call. Hey,
You know what I'm
we
saying?
got something for you.
I might have to give her a call, because here's the thing though, is like, we talk about this all the time, right? We talk about ownership, right? We talk about using your own star power, regardless of how you feel about her opinions about the people she's had gripes with or whatever, right? She still has her own star power. She's still putting butts in seats when it comes to stand up on a
Exactly.
consistent basis. So it's not like she doesn't have an audience. Why doesn't she go make her own movie and release it herself? Here's what I think, right? And I don't know her, but I would love to talk to her. But what I think is one of two things, right? It's either a lack of understanding, right, about how, the business works. And as far as, she's been in the industry so long, but there are still some people who just lack that understanding of how things above the line works, because she's used to getting paid as talent versus like a producer, right? So maybe that's there, and I would be happy to have a conversation with her and educate her, even if she don't want to work with me. Just teach her about the process. And then the second thing, Or some people just don't want to do, and it's not a laziness thing. It's a, I don't want to do all of the work that is required to do that, right? Because like you said, even if you can't write, that means you need to go find the writer or find somebody who can find the writer. You need to find the
First, find a
producer.
script. She could find a script.
She can find a script, right? The director, right? There's still an organizational piece. And then I think a lot of actors, whether it's her or not, fear what it's like when they put their name at the top. You know what I'm saying? Like executive produced by Monique, right? That expectation. And if they've only been in, let's say, $10 million to $50 million film land, right? Their expectation in their head of how a movie is supposed to work and how a movie is supposed to run, right, is going to look totally different than how it's going to be. Because a lot of people literally can't wrap their head around how you can make a movie even at $100,000 or a $200,000 price point. They can't figure it out in their head how to make that happen. And so that could be it. Or she's saying this, I'm Monique. Why do I have to do that? Right? I should be getting booked. And what happens is, in general, whether it's her or somebody else, we get caught up in this perception of what success is supposed to look like for us, right? And things that are supposed to happen. And then when we don't change that perception, we're not growing, right? Like you have to be able to grow and be like, this is what I thought it was going to look like for me in my career, but it isn't looking like that. I'll even take it to like, and I'll toss it to you guys after this, but I'll even take it to like basketball. We see it all the time, right? There's players that have talked about it, like a Carmelo Anthony, right? Who was used to being number one. He was used to being the dog. Every single time he was on the team, he got the ball, he was shooting the shots. And then later in his career, it was time for him to be a role player, and he struggled with that transition. So he ended up out the league. I think the same is happening to actors, producers, directors. What's happening is they used to ball it out a certain way. And then when that way is no longer available or they have to pivot from that way, they're finding themselves out the league, like out of Hollywood, out of whatever. That's my thoughts. What are you guys' thoughts?
I agree. I agree. A lot of it is, when you used to eating off of, they serving you golden plates of big steaks, and all of a sudden they take that shit away, or it just disappears invisible. Now you don't even know how to get up and go to the kitchen. The whole time the gold plate was right there in the kitchen. The steak was right there in the kitchen. Maybe not cooked yet. Now it's time to learn how to cook. You know what I'm saying? And that's all you have to do. It's that easy. Get up out your seat, go in the kitchen, cut the plastic off the meat, throw that, cut on there, that slab on the frying pan, fry that John, and get the serving yourself, cook and serve yourself. And I'm just saying, like, the reward, the feeling of it, the accomplishment of it, of doing it yourself independently is way more, it feels astronomically better than somebody giving it to you. You know what I'm saying? I feel as if, as Black people, a lot of the times we're not adventurous enough. I think it's the fear of adventure. That's why some of us never travel outside of our perimeters. You know what I mean? Every other race, I feel as if they won't sit down on their hands like that. You know what I mean? If they felt like somebody kind of, did them wrong, in a particular industry, they gonna be like, all right, for real, all right, watch me surpass you, because I'm gonna go do my own thing. And surpass you doesn't mean financially. It could just mean that I put out freaking 10 movies in a day. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't kind of sit there and mope about my situation. You know what I'm saying? I got up, got out there. You see people all the time. You see white people all the time just carry a camera or freaking an iPhone and go shoot some shit. And before you know it, it's on YouTube doing numbers, crazy numbers. And they just repeat the process over and over again. There's a lot of people that are making crazy paper off of doing basic stuff on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And they call it movies. You know what I'm saying? I see people getting deals with studios. Because let me tell you, 5-10 years ago until today, Black people have a problem already within Hollywood and the way it's set up not to really take care of them. That's why people like Tyler Perry went to Atlanta and just became huge and super monstrous with his production. And that has been like for the last 20 years. Today is worse because go look at all the lots in Hollywood. This is like real up to date conversation. The lots are empty. Everybody in Hollywood is feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Down to the people that just edit. A lot of them are going through it because it's gone. Everybody's gone to other places that have better tax cuts, from Texas to the overseas, certain places. You know what I'm saying? So it's even worse. If white people are feeling it, it's worse for black people now in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I get auditions. I got some auditions the other day. It was just a one line. I didn't even look at that. I'm like, I'm not doing this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I'm like, manager, you gonna have to, yeah, don't be sending me this. I'm not doing this. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like it's a waste of time of me kind of putting my energy into that when I'm doing this over here. You know what I'm saying? And putting more time into, you know what I'm saying, fixing what I feel is going astray as far as like creativity and what needs to be put out there as an independent, you know what I'm saying, entity. And so you gotta go back in the trenches and cook. That's what you gotta, unless you cooked. I'm telling you, out here right now in Hollywood, it's worse for white people. So it's really, anytime something get worse for white people,
It's real bad for
it's
us.
all the way down. You know what I'm saying? Down super bad for black people. So, you know, I'm just saying to say that, you know, with Monique's situation, she has an opportunity. She's still a person that when she walks out, people still love her. So
hmm
she's still a star. She's still a superstar in her own right. You know what I'm saying? And she can still command, like you said, a crowd. So it makes no sense for her not to be putting out projects like, you know what I'm saying, cake and shit, like baking cake. Like that should be like so easy for her. Especially as a black woman, it's so many ideas. Even what you going through, you can make it into a movie.
You
You
could
know
have made it into a movie. You could have literally made a movie about what you went through. You could have
you
made
feel
you could have made a documentary. You could have did something. We could have did
Ain't
any
something.
nobody going to watch no you sit up and talk about Oprah and Tyler Perry.
yeah, nobody got time
Yeah,
for that
nothing.
because
Nobody watching that.
people have vested interest and love for those people. You know what I mean?
I think she should have just said her point, which she's already doubled down on what her point was, and now we get it. You ain't rocking with them until you get an apology. That is your personal choice. Now we established that, like you said, go make some stuff. Like, what are we talking about? Because one thing that those people are going to do is keep making things and keep doing positive things, which they are for black people, right? So if you the biggest turn up she could have did was doing her own stuff. That would have doubled down and made her point, right, about at least how talented she was, right, and even more valid, because that's all we really care about. People are rooting. I'm passing to you, Ray. People are rooting for Monique. We're rooting for her to be successful. I don't really hear anybody talking about we don't want her to do well. Go ahead, Ray.
Didn't Taraji say something about Oprah, one of them, or something? She had to pay her own flight, and
Yeah, well, that was a little, so let's be that she didn't directly say that about Oprah. So that was if you go back and watch the interview,
I was
people took
asking.
that
I
out
didn't
of
know.
it.
I just remember
Yeah,
her
yeah, yeah.
saying something. She was
So what
complaining about something.
Yes. So what
Yeah,
happened was, right, on The Color Purple, Oprah was a part of the producers, right? She was a part of the producers. However, what people don't realize is her role in the producing was like this small
yeah,
versus what Warner Brothers and like all of them
yeah.
were.
They owned
Her,
it. Yeah,
yeah,
they only attacked Oprah because she was the actress in it, first one, and she
they
did.
just literally asked her about casting. That was literally what her role was. She didn't really have a role beyond that. And so Taraji was saying that on that set, she felt like essentially they weren't treated the way that they needed to be treated. That was the summation of it, right? And then she ended up calling and asking Oprah for advice. And she doubled down on the fact that Oprah had supported her through that process, right? But she was more so directing the comments towards Hollywood. But nonetheless, I still feel like she's even a great example, though, for me at times where she's complaining about Hollywood. I'm like, okay, well, you go make something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that is the theme, right? That we're talking about is we could sit here. I am tired of black people sitting here doing this, right? To white people. Give me this, give me money, give me this, give me that. Well, I just don't understand why we're doing this. It makes zero sense to me why we have our hand out and we're asking for things that we already can do ourselves is wild to me. You already have your own money, right? Go invest your own money or find other people like yourself. You can get brand deals, whatever it is, right? And go make something. To Johnny's point, like if you sit up and just wait on something to happen, it's just literally never going to happen. I don't know if you wanted to add something, Ray. If not, we can segue to the next topic.
We can go to the next topic.
All right. Okay, cool. So next up, right, what was on busting through my timeline all week long, right? It's so crazy. We'll talk about something. I don't know if you guys noticed that trend. We'll talk about something the week before and then like something happens, right? Like that keeps, I don't know if we're manifesting something in the air or like whatever that is, right? So last week we were talking about AI and like maybe the last 2 weeks we were kind of talking about AI and like the effects. Then what happened this past week is that a major label decided to give an AI artist, right? I think her name is Zaina Monet. I need to stop saying it's an it. We need to stop like humanizing a machine. I think that's part of the process.
Well, they're
too
gonna give it
that's
a
happening.
pronoun soon. Get ready.
That part, right? This entity, that part, its name is Zaina Monet, and it has signed a multi-million-dollar record deal, right? Which is insanity. I'm gonna kick it off, and then I think I went to. Did I go to Johnny first last time, and then Ray, or is it Ray then Johnny? I don't remember who's next, but you guys tell me in a second. All right. So the question is, right? Two parts, right? Do we feel like this should be a thing? Should record labels or even, it could be a film studio in the next month who decides to do this, right? Should they be signing AI artists to deals, right? And then should AI artists be allowed to release, I don't even call it artists, AI technology. Let's do that. Should AI technology, you said what? It's the AI's voice. It's the AI's voice. We're going to get into
I'm
that,
gonna tell
right?
you exactly what it is.
Yeah, we'll get into that, right? So 2 parts, right? Should they be signed, right? And then part 2 is like, should they even be able to do essentially the same thing that we as individuals can do, right? So my answer to this is no and no, right? Because I feel like it is a slippery slope, right? As soon as it starts, we're not going to stop. And what happens is, right, it becomes its own thing because it's not what our generation knows the difference, right? Can appreciate the difference between AI and a human person. The younger generation, people Sky's age, right? If they grow up with those people, those entities as artists, right? Then that becomes what it is that they like. And so I feel like AI, when it comes to art, should only be used as an enhancement, right? Or a correction or something added into what humans can already do, right? Or AI should be able to be used as something to help imagine, right? To create something that humans cannot do. Meaning that, like, something that's not out there. That's my thought process behind it. I think it's absolutely egregious that we sign a multi-million-dollar contract to an IT entity when there are actual talented human beings behind it. I understand the business mindset of why they would do that. Why? Because it takes seconds to create a song for this particular entity, right? It takes seconds to create a visual, right? So the amount of content pieces that you can make, put out, release, and monetize compared to a real person, right, is literally endless. And the business strategy behind that of how much money you can make is just infinity and beyond, right? I understand why a label would do it, but as a society, I feel like we can't allow it to that extent right now. That is highly problematic because then what happens to our artists? What happens to how are they going to make money if they just get replaced by AI in a matter of a year, right? And so I'll pause there. It's a double no for me. And then we could pop to Ray next. I think it's Ray's turn first.
It's a double no for me as well. I like to see an artist grind. I don't like to see that you can just go and, you live next door to me and now your video on the boat. Like, fuck you get the money from? You know what I'm saying? Like, no. No. I want to see your grind. I want to see you create. But without that, like, no. So it's a double no for me with that. Then movies, it's like you said, kids are gonna like it because of animation in the first place. You know what I mean? So the animation part gonna get the kids' attention, and then the AI goes with it. So it's a lot of rap songs, old school rap songs that's in movies now. And we play music on the yard, and the kids come up to me, "Can you play September?" I literally looked at the kid and was like, "What is September?" And she was like, "Do you remember?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll play that for you." And I didn't even know that, like, they putting these songs in movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's to a point where the kids gonna like it, but for us, as that went through the whole thing, like, I'm good, to be honest. I barely watch those type of movies anyway. I watch them when we at school, when it rain or it's too hot or it's too cold. We in the auditorium, put on a movie, and or if I'm working with kids and we go on a field trip. That's how I saw Inside Out too. And then once I saw that, I was like, "Oh, I gotta go watch one." You know what I mean? Like, that made me go watch one. You know what I'm saying? So it was to a point where stuff like that is gonna make me watch it. But all in all, artists, I love to see the grind. I love to see where that artist comes from. They just posted a picture of Dirk baby mama and her when he was hugging her in that picture in the bathroom to her right now. And I was like, "Oh, Lord Jesus, Dirk must have been broke." That was before any album came out. And when I went back and started looking at stuff, it was.
Mm-hmm.
So the grind. I've been watching him, listening to him since then. It was like the grind of where he at now. He got a little homegirl, and yeah, he ain't going back to nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? She look good today. She do look good today. So that's just my point. I like to see the artist grind. So I wouldn't most definitely support the AI artists.
All right, Johnny, what you got?
Well, I have a different viewpoint, and my viewpoint is this. First off, the way the industry is set up, they always put the business first. They don't really care about the creative aspect of artists no more. It's not like it used to be a long time ago where as talented as you are, you become as successful. That's what got the Michael Jacksons and all these guys. And the minute Michael Jackson started to get into the playing their game better than them, they was like, "Oh, get him out of here. Let's put all these allegations on him. Get him the fuck out of here because he's outsmarting us." You know what I mean? All right, boom. Now that's there. And now I look at it like this: when this Xena or whatever her name was, when the whole AI thing came out as far as being signed and being on the Billboard charts last week, I looked into some information and kind of, scrubbed the internet to find out. And the only story that I heard that behind this that kind of seemed a little bit legit, but I still don't believe it as much as I want to believe it. There's a Black woman behind this person that wrote poetry on Facebook for a long time. And she basically prompted the songs, and how she does it is because I know how to do all that shit. So there are a lot of AI programs right now. When it comes to music, it's something called Udio. What you do is you put your lyrics in there and then you pick the genre. It could literally do any genre for you. It's not that good at rap right now. Rap is one of those kind of genres you just can't make a rap song yet because there's so many different types of rap styles. It's just no. But you can pick like a 60s like doo-wop or one of these old, soul type of, and then pick a voice, and then it does the voice and does the song. There's a lot of songs out there like that. Some are very good actually, or a rock song or one of these, joints. And with her, she did like an R&B joint, and what it does is basically it can improve the lyrics because the thing about the internet, and I blame us all, we got stuck on the internet. We stopped going outside to play. You know what I'm saying? We don't
That part.
grass no more. We let technology turn into trick knowledge. You know what I'm
Parents.
saying?
Let Sky become that. But go ahead, John.
Hell
and
no. We limit screen time over here.
you know what I'm saying? I think by the time Sky and them get older, it's gonna be like hologram phones. Like something else is gonna happen. Let's beyond. But anyway, I feel as if we got so, caught up with having to look at our screen and depending too much on this type of interaction. You know what I mean? And to where it's like now they like, "Oh, we got them." You know what I'm saying? So now what we're gonna do is, and then many other forms of that we enjoyed before, like having CDs and shit like that, they just got phased out. And in the interim, artists got hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because you can still go on the boulevard. Like when I go do my bars challenge on the boulevard, it's still dudes selling CDs. They don't look good at
Mm.
all. And
No,
sometimes I have to
right.
tell these dudes, like, dude, like nobody got CDs in their car. But some people are still buying them because some people still got old
You know
cars.
what?
old
I do not
Toyotas.
have a CD player in my
You
car.
get what I'm saying? People still
I
got
don't
old.
have a CD player.
You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but I would buy a CD to support an artist as a collector's thing,
Yeah.
not because I want the CD.
But
Yeah,
the point I'm making is those things are eventually gonna come back because people are tired of you cheating them. You know what I'm saying? Like a stream on like Spotify, for example. Most of the record labels own the Spotify. Of course, that's why on certain playlists you can't even get on the top playlist as an independent
you're
artist.
not
You
getting
can't.
there.
You're not getting there. They put who they want to put. You know what I'm saying? It's like
It's
the one
always been
dude.
pay for play.
It's you know what I'm saying, and they can blow and that way they have control to where they can blow anybody overnight. Look at that one dude that nobody heard of, but he was already double platinum, and the only reason we heard about him over the last couple of weeks because he allegedly unalived a 13-year-old girl. You know
That
what I'm
part.
saying?
David.
You
David.
yeah, I don't want to
15.
say his name, but whatever the case is, you feel what I'm saying? But the point is, nobody heard of this dude. You know what I'm saying? But
Never heard
the
dude a
label,
day in my
right?
life. I never heard of him.
You say what?
Say that again.
I
You glitch?
never heard of him until
No,
the
never.
story. I
Until that
literally never
happened.
heard of him.
But that's my point. The labels can do shit that's like so backdoorish to where it's like you won't know till later. And it's like, what the hell? And that's all part of the games and the tricks that they can play on you. You know what I'm saying? Now we all know the dude. Now if they choose not to convict him or whatever, now he gonna really blow up the hell up. You know
They
what I'm
let
saying?
the dude finish his tour too.
Yeah, they cut all that shit off now. They cut a lot of
Yeah, but still, like,
he already was
you got
there.
a body in the car on
Yeah,
him. Nick,
but
you come right now.
but
You know
he
what I'm
had a
saying?
European tour already. Like we don't know, dude.
He was in Washington. He
You
was
know
in
what I'm saying?
Seattle.
Yeah, I know. But my point is, he had a European tour. Like, but we
Oh
didn't
no,
know,
he ain't
dude.
gonna make it to that. But he shouldn't have.
Yeah,
He shouldn't have made his Seattle tour.
yeah, he shouldn't have. Yeah, but anyway, the point of where I'm going with it is the record labels. These major entities have so much power and control. You know, something that the masses are supposed to have power and control over. I'm supposed to go and buy your CD because I love you, so I can open it, read who did this, read the lyrics, have something that I can keep and put up. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like a billion. Anybody can upload music to, you know what I'm saying, the freaking internet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but no artists that start off on their masters. Like none. Not
Yeah,
one.
yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. But the
Mm.
point is, with this whole AI situation, they've been using AI
You
for a
cut
long
out.
time. We just never knew. Most of the cartoons and all this shit, but I think you just don't discard it all. I don't think AI should be discarded completely. Look at this person. She said, if it is a person, which I kind of doubt, I still think is a label that concocted this AI person to create and put out that conversation of 3 million being sold. I still think it's a propaganda move. You know what I'm saying? I don't really believe that there's a person behind it because when you listen to the music, this person sounded like Beyonce, Whitney Houston, Kelly Clarkson,
Yeah.
Jennifer Hudson, just a mixture, you know what I'm saying, of just a hot, you know what I mean, Toddy, just all that shit. And it's like, why do we need that? You know what I'm saying? Why do we need that? And then my other point is, why do I have to know that you signed a $3 million deal? Why?
Yeah. My bad. I forgot to play some players in my fantasy league.
But anyway,
And everybody playing right now. I just gotta take an L for this week.
boom.
God damn.
So my point is, where I'm trying to go with this is, as far as the musical side, I think we're getting much more lazier because we're not demanding that certain things come back or not inventing things. If we can't have a CD, cool. Let's invent something else. You can't tell me that we all just gonna follow like sheep, you know what I mean, to whatever they put out.
Well, I'll piggyback off what you were saying, right? So there are independent artists who are doing things that are different. Like I can go back to even like for me, right? When I was at my height of what I was making off of music, right? The majority of the money that I made were from two things, right? They were from either people, I was doing music reactions, right? They were literally paying for me to review songs, right? That's one, right? Another entity was like literal physical album sales, right? My fans were physically buying my album, not because they couldn't stream it online, but because they wanted a signed version for me to support, right? And those were CDs at the time, but this is like 5 years ago, right? I think that independent artists, and I have friends like shout out to Futuristic, people who are still selling tours, right? And at the same time, they're making their fans buy their music directly. There's either different websites directly from their website or sending USB, what you would call it, sticks to people, right? Because it's on an individual basis. There are some artists that are being more innovative, and I think that is definitely what's going to be required, like moving forward. Because to your point, these algorithms are rigged. They've always been, though. Here's the other thing, though, Johnny. It was an illusion, right? That anybody could just kind of blow up. Even if you go back to the 60s, there was
Yeah,
payola. There was payola in the
yeah,
60s. It was just more of an even playing field because Black people would have their own radio stations or whatever. We had a little bit more control. But right now, the whole thing is Spotify streams, right? The TikTok algorithm. That's even about to get even more rigged than what it is now
yeah,
because of the new
yeah,
administration is forcing themselves, right, to have an American owner, right, over TikTok so that they can essentially regulate the content that's going to be on TikTok. So the whole ecosystem is set up now, right, to where you're going to have to find one or two platforms to generate some type of organic fan base. And then I would drive them elsewhere. I would drive them to your website. I would drive them to your concert. But like to solely rely on streams, to solely rely on, radio spins, whatever it is, you're going to be playing with the big dogs. And as an independent artist, we literally just simply cannot because those record labels, those companies, they have so much more control and money in the environment as an artist than what the average person actually understands. And I think it's just a lot. I think it's and I think and I'm sure I do see positive aspects of AI, right? But for right now, we're in the gold rush and it's a free for all, Johnny, right? So I feel like until we need to have some type of regulation in the process, and for us as a society, right, to figure out how are we actually going to use this tool so it doesn't get out of hand and
Well,
it
I
becomes,
think, artificial intelligence, but we have as human beings natural intelligence. So we need to amplify and enhance our natural intelligence to be able to use artificial intelligence as a little brother or little sister. We as humans have to be, because if we let this little brother and little sister son us, listen, that's it for the human race. I'm gonna tell you right now, because
yeah.
they getting better every day. They getting
And
better
then
every day.
just go back and watch iRobot. Like,
Exactly.
all I'm saying is like it's already, the pathway has already been set
You know what
up
I'm
to a
saying?
certain extent.
And that movie and movies like that only show you the miniature aspect of what can happen when it comes to dangerous situations and things running amok. That's
That
miniature,
was a '90s movie too, wasn't it?
right?
No, that was 2000s. That was
Wasn't
2000s.
early.
Early
Yeah.
2000s.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
point is, you know what I'm saying? If we don't use our natural intelligence, you know what I'm saying? We don't even go out no more and talk to the tree. You know, our ancestors used to go out and talk to the trees and talk to the animals and talk to the, you know what I mean? We probably can't even
Mhm.
name half of these animals. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
2004.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
We so
I
stuck on the
agree with you.
internet. We so stuck on the internet, what's going on and this and that and everything that we was kind of anti growing up. We so into it right now. This is a bunch of gossip. Like me personally, I don't even believe that AI signed a $3 million deal. I think it's one of the biggest crack of crap and whatever. I think it's just to further an agenda. I think it's made up. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's real either. As soon as I heard it, I said it wasn't real. I said it was something that they manufactured to test the waters to see how
Yeah,
people are going to
I
respond.
don't believe that. And people fell for it. I see artists like come out and say, "Oh, I'm not with it. I'm not good. I don't with it. I'm not with it." I'm like, y'all talking to a y'all talking to a machine. You know what I'm saying? You're not with it. They don't care. They don't care if you with it or not. It's like a clarion call for other labels to be like, "Yo, this is what we on right now. Forget these regular humans." Because I'm gonna tell you one thing. It might not be a second like you made it seem to make these things happen, but it doesn't take a lot of money, and it doesn't take a lot of thought like that.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're just making anything just to make anything. You can go online, you go on YouTube. It's 1,000 of those. There's music
Yep.
out there already. Because all it's doing, it's going to the internet. See, the internet has everything that's ever been put on the internet. So somebody can come to this same podcast and take everything with the same way you can caption this shit like real fast. They could caption it, take it, and create a whole new podcast with all different faces. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like I can literally make a cartoon character of each one of us and take
Mhm.
everything we said today and put it on this new podcast and call it like the fucking Casting Grouch, and we all can fucking Oscar fucking trash cans from Sesame Street type shit. And we saying the same shit, and I can enhance it, and I could change our voices, you know what I mean, to sound like his, and put it on YouTube on a podcast, and the algorithms will go crazy, and it'll blow up on a whole nother level. But guess what?
Yep.
I did it for free though. You know what I'm saying? I took everything that we doing right now and made so much money faster than we doing it. That's what the business aspect, that's what the labels care about more. It's about
That's
how
all they
fast
care
can I
about.
get this paper. How fast can I get this? I
So,
don't care about the artist. You know what I'm saying?
and they never did. They're a business at first, right? And so I guess my proposition is this, right? So if we get 2 weeks in, which I'm predicting, right? 2 to 4 weeks from now, right? It's going to be another label to do the same thing. What artists need to do is they need to hop on it. You need to hop on it now. You need to start making your own. I would be starting to make my own AI artists, because if they're going to do it, whoever hops on it first is who's on the wave, right? And you get to reap the benefit of it. It's the same thing with the AI movies. Whoever does it first, because it's going to happen anyway, right? Then you'll be a part of the wave, and at least from a people of minority perspective, right? We can be a part of the profit system of that versus us waiting and complaining about it for 4 or 5 years and just having to do it anyway.
But
I personally
that's
mean,
not innovative though.
yeah,
That's
I
not
don't. So
innovative.
I'm not saying that it is. So that's not the point that I'm making, right? I'm not saying that it is. I think it's actually horrible, egregious, and non-innovative, right? But the other point is, as goes life, right? Like, this is America, right? And what America rewards is not necessarily innovation. America awards people who take advantage of the opportunity at the right time. Like, imagine if we would have sit there and we were probably 14 or 15. You know how our parents was telling us to get off YouTube? Imagine we would have did the opposite of that, like Mr. Beast. And we would have doubled down and we would have had all these videos on YouTube. How much money would we have had right now? Like, that part. So all I am saying is this. If they're going to do this anyway, then somebody black needs to do it too, so that we
I
can
mean,
have an
remember
avenue when we
that's
do
what
hop on.
Timberland, they just did a better version of what Timberland was trying to do. That people really
That
was like,
part.
they basically crucified Timberland for it. Timberland had to go find a real person that looked like the AI version and try to cover and save face. And people were still not buying it. You know what I'm saying? But you got to understand, this is what people are trying to do and trying to make seem normal. But it's going to have a problem when it comes to doing tours, because I'm not standing there watching the hologram of
Watch
nobody.
the screen.
I'm not watching the only hologram I probably saw that was kind of fire was Michael Jackson. That kind
The
of like
Mike Jack one was, the Tupac one was good too, though.
Tupac
Tupac
one
one
was
was
good
good.
too. But that's because those are legacy artists. You know what I'm saying, that we miss. You know what I'm saying? And we're like, let's see what. But as far as watching a whole show, I don't even know what those two. You know what I mean? Because I feel like
Yeah,
I'll start feeling weird after half of the show. Like, come on now, like, you know what I'm
it's
saying?
weird.
Like, why is my dude not really here? You know what I mean? It affects me mentally.
Why would I watch a Michael Jackson hologram and I can go to a Breezy Bowl?
Boom.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the other thing is, I don't think they care about that right now. I think what they're looking at is just from a financial aspect, right? If I was this particular business, take all the personal feelings out. If I was this business, I would be looking at how much money and time do I spend to pop up a human artist, right? And what is my financial return back? And on most of these artists, on most of these artists, right, the majority of what it is that they're making is a loss. they're losing money anyway. And I know they're saying that.
Yes, and that's why a lot of them are crying out because they own the label already. And here comes somebody that's not even a person that's already like killing it. And it's like, hold on, I still owe my label. And you talk about you already made not only get a $3 million deal from a label, you already top of the Billboard charts. I ain't even got there yet. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I agree. For me, it furthermore pushes the whole belief structure as far as independence goes. That as far as people have to try to like artists have to kind of learn the independent game. I don't care if it's movies, if it's music or whatever. Like learn it to where you reach a zenith or a mass peak to where you get enough traction to where if a major label then chooses to say, you know what, I mess with this person, the brand that deals and all that that comes with it, it'd be beneficial for you as an artist. Then you know what I'm saying.
Mhm,
Instead of
mhm,
you just crying for a label, please sign me now, and then you get not only shelved because you it's an artist right now. I think her name was Halsey or something like that. Remember her? She was successful. I
mhm,
seen the thing today where she was kind of like saying it was actually where's the next album? She said she can't put it out. They said why? They said because the label feels as if the last album she did only sold like 100,000 copies, so they won't put out another album out. I'm like, man. She sold very good records the first time she put out something before, and they want her to top that because she didn't top that. She's shelved, and she's a big artist. So this is a kind of issue that some of them are and they locked in. She's locked in a contractual agreement too. So now think about it like that. Imagine if she was to be left to go and do her own thing independently. She got all those fans already that fuck with her. She put out a record, people gonna buy it. She can see her streams. Like to be honest with you, like every other damn near 3-4 weeks, I get good money from my streams. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's crazy because I just be imagining if I was under a major label, I probably won't even see that money. You know what I'm saying? Or even half of it. You know what I mean? But I'm getting
mhm.
the full thing to my account. You know what I'm saying? So it's like imagine you know, a lot of these major labels that have issues with their, you know what I'm saying, their overheads, like go do something independent and wait for the results to come in. Like it's gonna be more better for you. And this is something that Lizzo has been preaching for the last couple of weeks because she also is paying attention to how the algorithms are being rigged on all the platforms. She said she don't even put videos out on YouTube no more. She put it straight to her Instagram. You know what I mean? Because
There's
and then
no
she has
point.
two types of Instagrams now. One where she just talking her shit because she has to bring in her fans and talk to them and be personable with them, and one where she just does her music stuff. So it's separate. You know what I mean? Because she has to build a community now, because that's the new thing. You got to build your community. But listen,
That part.
that's it for me on
I
that one.
mean,
I could go on and on about that. But
I'm very
AI is
passionate about.
everywhere. AI is here to stay. Like I was telling Ray when you cut off the joint, AI has been here a long time, but they just gave us this phase of it. Because they got something better cooking. You know what I mean? And we don't even have that. Because
Yeah.
when quantum computer hit, y'all gonna be shook. We just got regular AI right now. Quantum computer's coming next. Just pay
It
attention.
that in itself is scary. But we're gonna wrap with final thoughts. So final thoughts, takeaways of how you feel about current industry now, right? Whether it's AI or not, the direction that we're going, right? And even what do you wish to happen? I'm gonna go to Ray first.
Current industry, I don't even think Koch is even no more. I think Empire is really taking over that realm. So for me, it's a couple of artists that's like manage me and this, that, and the other. And I'm thinking like if I go a route of trying to get a label to be behind, it'll be Empire, so to speak, because they have big artists. You know what I'm saying? They will break you. You know what I'm saying? And you still seeing more money you're gonna see from Sony or Warner or any of those guys. So that's that when it comes to that. And the AI artists, I love R&B. So and then a lot of times I don't even watch too many videos, so that party could sneak past me a little bit. I'd be like, "Oh, that artist," and the kid would be at school, be like, "That's an AI artist," and then be like, "Oh my god, like it is." Like they'll know before me because I just
Okay.
like listening to it. So I don't need to really sometimes see the artist, so I can see some R&B kind of sneaking through. But they'll have to thank Chris Brown for that because he's the only R&B artist making moves. I love Trey Songz. Trey ain't
What do you
doing
mean
what Bree
big? Are you talking about big R&B?
did. He
Okay,
just
big
did a
R&B.
whole he
All
did
right.
a whole
If
stadium
you say
tour.
if you say big R&B, he's the biggest R&B artist making
The
moves
only
without a
R&B
doubt.
artist right now that's performing to more than 20,000 people, more than
Yes.
10,000 people.
I mean,
That's a male.
he's
That's a male,
of
yes.
course top tier, but
Oh, yeah,
you can't.
SZA. That was
You still,
SZA tour.
you still
Yeah,
got
You know what I
he's
mean?
Usher.
top tier. I mean, Chris Brown, but we got
Usher ain't
Usher.
doing
We,
no tours
He
like
did an arena. He
what
did
Bree
an arena
came
tour.
off. Yeah, arena tour. He didn't do a whole list of arena
I mean, it's
tours.
Chris
Chris
Brown's
Brown is
time right now. It's Chris Brown's time right now. He got new music. He
yes.
just got off a
Yes.
dope ass album,
Don't
Grammy
say he
winning.
got new music like his music is just like he
No,
ain't
no, no. I'm
put
saying
music
this.
out.
No, I'm just
He's
saying.
giving you 40 songs an album.
Yeah.
35 plus an album.
No, but I'm saying
Johnny,
And no artist giving you 16 songs.
Yeah.
Johnny, you know
Yeah,
Ray
I
go
know.
hard for
I
Chris
know what you're
Brown
gonna
like
say.
I go
Yeah.
for Beyonce. We just
No,
gonna leave him alone.
nobody gonna disrespect this man just
No,
because.
I
And I'm
love,
sorry that happened to Rihanna.
I love
I'm
CB.
sorry.
No,
You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry.
Listen, CB.
Take that out
We
of his
letting
life.
you have it today. We
great.
letting you have it today.
CB is our boy. CB our boy. We not breezy.
We don't. I don't have it. I don't have it with CB.
I love CB because I love him even beyond his music. Like he's a great artist. Like he draws.
He's a great
and,
dude. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He has a lot going. He
I
plays
met him
basketball.
before.
He plays crazy. Like he's very
He could hoop.
talented and multi-dimensional with his gifts.
He's a very talented
I
human
ain't gonna
being.
take us off topic with the breezy, but that was just an example of what I was saying as far as R&B not being the same anymore. So yeah, we're not gonna even mention Beyonce, but the SZA can hit a tour, and SZA can
Neo is dope too. I like Neo. It's a lot of
but Neo ain't
He's
selling
not
out
touring, though.
no stadium.
But no, we're not talking about that.
stadiums.
They all not
That's what I'm
touring.
saying.
Yeah.
After Beyonce, I give SZA a close tie to Breezy. You know what I'm saying? As far as she can hold it down by herself, because you take her, I don't even want to go there.
But you don't like John Legend. You don't like it's many R&B.
I like them, but they're not doing tours that Breezy can do, and he's holding down R&B.
I know, but
he's holding down R&B.
Of course, we all know that. That's like you can't dispute that.
Yeah. But that was my point. Like I can AI. No. Another R&B AI can sneak past me because of that. That's what I'm saying. And I'm like, he's the only one that can really that's holding down R&B right now.
Okay, so you know what AI is,
other than Beyonce and SZA,
bro. But
he's holding.
Okay, but you know what AI is, right? So what AI does is you could take all of these people you made. Yo, you ever played?
That's why I don't like AI is fake.
Yo, you ever played Tekken and shit? You know what I mean? So it's like it's one particular fighter in Tekken that takes all other fighters' powers, right? And makes it his. You know what I mean? And so that's what AI does. AI, it takes everybody's shit and makes it. And that's what's gonna happen. So as much as we love all these artists, including CB and everything and all, that's what the Xena, the new AI chick, the chick sound like Beyonce, Whitney Houston, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that you could, Jennifer Hudson, Jasmine Sullivan, Keisha Cole, go listen to it. It sounds Brandy. It sounds like just a gamut, a run of you know what I'm saying? All of them. And it's like, what? You know what I mean? So that's what AI is going to do. So as much as we love these artists are going to get old. You know what I'm saying? And all they're going to do is create a whole new creative player. You know,
that's because you old don't mean you finish in R&B.
I never said that.
R&B
I'm saying that this is how the labels look at it. This is how the labels look at it. You get what I'm saying? So they're going to
CB's independent now.
You know what I mean?
Still, I give you a point, Johnny.
Who's independent?
I said Chris Brown has been independent now.
No, he's still signed to
RCA.
Epic RCA. He's still signed to RCA.
His label is signed. They restructured the deal. Yeah, it's a restructured deal.
Because he got his masters back. But
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
where I'm going with it is this: you have to realize that what they trying to do with AI is they are trying to the middleman, which is the artist to them, they trying to get rid of that, and the
Yep.
money comes straight to them. So they'll create these new beings. So as much as you love Chris Brown, they're gonna create an AI that's their version of a Chris Brown that has everything he has, including his dance skills, because all that shit's on the internet, and all they're gonna
Yeah.
do is scrub all that shit, mix it up, concoct it, and give you a new version. You might not like it because you know the real shit. It's the same way, like, I don't like anybody that's like try to come on like they Michael Jackson. Like, don't sound like him on it. I don't like you. But somebody that's younger than me, growing up in that new world, the skies and them gonna look at this person as if they done everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing we could do about it. You know what I'm saying? Now, we can talk all we want. Like, a lot of people were talking forever about how the computer is the evil 666 and all this when it first came out. And now look at where we at. It advanced beyond that. We have social media, we have many things, we have these kind of platforms to talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? So I think AI is eventually, once we start using our natural intelligence, you know what I'm saying? I hate to have it to sound with those first two letters, but whatever the case is, you know what I'm saying? Once we start using that, we gonna realize that we can actually evolve as human beings with this tool. You know what I mean? Trust me, the automobile was evil to some people at one point in time. They just loved the horse, you know what I mean, and the buggy. That was their joint. You know what I'm saying? But now we got Teslas. We're supposed to have flying cars by now, but we don't. You know what I'm saying? But AI is gonna make it possible to have flying cars. We actually have Uber helicopter choppers coming next year, they said. So
That's
that's
crazy.
all because of
Man,
AI. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
that's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Well, we'll see.
that's for LeBron.
I'm a wrap us. Clearly, we could talk about this for 3 more hours. My baby crying, all types of stuff. All right. But I love this conversation, though. My final thoughts on the whole thing. Well, let me sidebar on topic, off topic. Since we were talking about labels, if I ever sign to a label, and I'm gonna put this down. Look, Bible. That's how serious I am about this statement. If I ever sign to a label, there's only 2 labels I'm ever signing to: Parkwood, Rock Nation. Everybody knows I'm Beyonce to the day I die, right? I feel like this is nobody better to learn from. And then 2, Rock Nation, because that's Jay. That's the best rapper. So I'm a singer and I'm a rapper. Best singer, best rapper. Boom, right? And I also believe in partnership, right? So not just signing with, which is all what we've been talking about, right? People who are just signing to a label because they think the label is going to, become the vehicle, the engine, the machine, when it may not necessarily be that. Whether you're a Halsey or you're just a brand new artist, I think you build up your own audience, you build up your own fan base, right? You do all those things and you partner with somebody who can take what you're doing and grow it, right? I think that should be the mindset shift. Second thing I'll talk about is wrapping up just AI. It is here to stay, to Johnny's point, right? So we need to figure out how we're going to navigate that, right? So this is in general, whether we're talking about music, film, life, work, all of it. What I want for our Black people, right, is to be ahead of this. We need to be teaching our kids to learn these AI tools that we have, right? We need to be heavy on that. Just like we've been heavy on STEM, we need to be heavy on what are the careers in the next 10 to 15 years that are not going to get replaced by AI, right? What are the things that we can create that are not going to get replaced by AI or that we can use AI to our advantage? And beyond music and entertainment, right? This is a real thing that we cannot tell our children to run away from. We need to be digging our heels in, right, to help them navigate what the next 20 years is going to look like for them, because it's clearly going to look drastically different for us. So can we imagine how it's going to affect them? And then the third thing I'll say is just right now in today's climate, whether we were talking about politics, entertainment, whatever, it just seems like everything is so heavy, right? And I'm sure you guys can relate to that. Like just feeling heavy on social media, just feeling like overwhelmed, right, in society. And so I hope that we provide a forum where everybody feels like we can talk and have productive conversations, whether we agree or disagree, right? And beyond that, right, if we identify a problem, we try to work to be the solution. And then we need to operate as people, as Black people, we need to be operating in abundance, meaning that we need to be thinking about how do things benefit us, right? How can we continue to strive for our dreams, our goals, our ambitions, and how can we work towards solutions? Because that's what all of us here are about, right? Our positive things, continue to put positivity in the world, regardless of how negative things have affected us. We can go all the way back to slavery time, right? Negative things have affected Black people, right, on a continuous basis. But one thing Black people constantly do is we overcome, right? And whatever the opportunities that we get, we take it and we run with it. So I just want us to continue to do that. And as we go into our week this week, not to get super preachy here, right? But let's just remember, right, that we have so much dope, positive stuff that we can give the world, right, and put into the world. Let's continue to do that. We are your freaking co-hosts here. I'm Kennedy Scribecast Dore. We got Johnny Crown and we got Ray Johnson. Yes, indeed. Peace.
Yes.
Peace and
Peace.
love.